Hi, my name is Stacey Chillemi, and today I'd like to talk about epilepsy and how to deal with it. What inspired me to talk about this video today and to do this video was that I was on YouTube and I was looking at different videos and I came across a video that said epilepsy and how to deal with it. So I said, wow, this must be a really good video. It has 141,000 viewers on it. So I started listening to it, and then I started listening to the terminology, epileptic fits, and other stuff that they mentioned. And a lot of the stuff they were saying wasn't really true. And some of the stuff was a little off. And it really annoyed me, and it got me a little upset. Now, for me personally, for people who are listening to this video and don't know who I am, I developed epilepsy at the age of 5. I had encephalitis. It was a virus that had traveled to my brain and caused scar tissue damage. The virus had caused me to go into a coma for 4 days. And when I came out, they thought I was going to be paraplegic or I would have severe brain damage. But instead, I came out with neither, but I did have epilepsy. And to this day, they can't find the scar tissue damage in my brain. But I was left with seizures. And all my life, I had struggled with having seizures. And it was very difficult. And it still is to today. And I went through life with having seizures at any time or any place, having limitations, not being able to do things, being stopped from doing things that I really love, and it was very difficult. Even at the age in my 20s, I had struggled trying to get through college, the late night studying and taking the tests, all the stress that college involves. I was taking constant seizures, and I said, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? I said, it's virtually impossible. I'm having seizures, I'm getting fatigue, I'm tired, I can't cope. I said, it's just like, I don't think I'm going to get through it. So then one day I decided to write a letter to the Epilepsy Foundation, and they have a newspaper, and I asked people, well, how do you get through it? You know, I said in the article, I asked them to post the letter that I wrote, and I said, I'm in college right now, and I'm going through a really tough time with my epilepsy, and I just like to hear from other people how they positively go through life with epilepsy. And I was shocked, but I received hundreds of letters from all over the United States and Canada. People sharing their private stories with me, sharing poetry, sharing advice, telling me how they deal with epilepsy. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel alone. I felt that there were people out there just like me, going through the same emotions, the same feelings. You know, when you go through having epilepsy, you go through a lot of things. It's not just a physical thing where you fall down and you have a certain type of seizure. It's more than that. It's emotional. You go through life with ups and downs. Sometimes you might be doing well, and then all of a sudden a seizure comes and you just feel like you were knocked down on the ground once again. A lot of times you get depressed, and people, you know, there were letters that I've got from people, you know, that had really amazing jobs, and, you know, the seizures stopped them from being able to do their jobs, and they lost their jobs, they lost the ability to make the income they were making. One gentleman wrote that one day he was riding a motorcycle, and his motorcycle, a person in front of him stopped short, and he hit the back of the car, and he flipped off the motorcycle and he hit his head, and he got epilepsy. After that, he got constant seizures. He wasn't able to drive a motorcycle or a car anymore. He wasn't able to do his job anymore. He lost his job, and he wasn't able to support his family. Not only did this take almost everything from him, it took his manhood away too. And how terrible does that feel? You know, people, you know, male and female, go through the same type of situations and emotions. We all get depressed. We all go through struggles. And the biggest question that I hear all the time is, how do I deal with this disorder? How, you know, can I cope with this disorder? It's not just about controlling the seizures, but it's about how do we live life normally with epilepsy. And after reading all these letters and after going through my own struggles, I decided to write a book called Epilepsy, You're Not Alone. And I used a lot of the stories that these people shared with me, and I used it to help other people. And one of the things I learned personally about epilepsy is that the first thing you have to do with epilepsy is you have to accept that you have epilepsy. So many people with epilepsy are in denial. They don't want to accept that they have epilepsy. They don't want to, come to face the fact that they have this disorder and it's not going away. And that's really hard. But until you accept that you have epilepsy, you're not going to be able to move on. You have to really say, yes, I have the disorder. The past is the past. We can't change the past. But we can focus on the present, and we can move on and focus on the future and do things in the present to make a positive change and a positive aspect and a positive journey for our future. So you really we need to accept that we have epilepsy. And then once we accept that we have epilepsy, we need to love ourselves. Because then you say, yes, I have epilepsy. But you have to love yourself for who you are. I personally believe that everyone is on this planet for a reason. We may not understand why we were given this disorder, but I believe personally for me, this disorder has made me a better person. I don't think I would have been as caring, as sweet, as loving as I am, and as understanding to other people with other diseases, disorders, and disabilities if I didn't have this disorder. I remember personally when I was working in the city, I had a great job with a great corporation, and I was walking in the hallway and I felt an aura, and I knew that I was going to have a seizure, and there was nowhere for me to go, and I fell right to the ground and I had a grand mal seizure. And then I remember when I was on the floor, I was conscious, and I remember watching one of the big corporate executives walk over me. And I'm just looking at him and saying, oh my God, I can't believe he just walked over me and kept going. And 30 minutes later, his associate came over and told me I didn't meet the qualifications of this position. And I didn't let me get it down. I wasn't going to make this one event be the end. For me, it made me a stronger person, and it made me become more of an advocate. And I realized in life that we all have a purpose, and my purpose was to help others, was to teach others about health, to teach others about how to live life in a positive way. So I believe everything in life happens for a reason. So you need to really accept that you have epilepsy, love yourself. How has this disorder made you a better person in life? What are some of the aspects and strengths that this disorder has given you that made you better as a person, as a human being? Because everybody I meet with epilepsy has the biggest heart. They're loving, they're caring. I do meet many people who have anger, but once you get over that, life changes. Don't be angry because you can't change it. We can't change that we have epilepsy. All we can do is move on. Learn how to deal with our epilepsy. Learn how our body reacts, how our body works. Once we learn to love ourselves, then we have to realize it's a lifestyle change. We may not be able to do everything in life we want to, but if we learn and understand our body, understand what triggers our seizures, understand that everything we put in our body with food affects our body. High sodium foods affect your body. It can cause inflammation, which can cause water retention on the brain, which could cause a possible seizure. There are lots of things. There's millions of things that can trigger seizures. But it's understanding your body and understanding what works for you. These are the things that you need to do as a person. And you need to understand what triggers your seizures. The number one thing that triggers most people is stress. And so many times I let so many things as I was living in life get to me. And I would have constant seizures because of stress. And then one day I said, you know what? I'm not going to let the little things in life get to me anymore. And when a big problem comes, I'm going to take a step back, take a deep breath, and I'm going to focus on the problem, and I'm going to get through it. You know, for every problem, there's a solution. You know, you just have to take it with ease, take it with stride, take a deep breath, and eventually, you might have obstacles, you might have ups and downs, but you'll find a solution, and something good will come about it. And these are things that you have to think about. So coping with stress is another factor, eating right, and getting enough of sleep. When I started getting more sleep and I started relaxing more, I noticed that my seizures started to decline tremendously. So when I started to eat right, when I started to deal with stress in a way that I never dealt with before, letting the problems in life, letting people who got to me in life and aggravated me, I just pushed them outside my life, and I just focused on the people that I loved, people I care about, people who don't cause me stress and aggravation, and I focused with those people in my life. And these are some of the things I did. I had to create a lifestyle that was right for me. Because once I created that lifestyle that was right for me, my seizures started to do better. I also started detoxifying my body. I started to cleanse my body. I started to do different cleanses, and just flushing out all the toxins in the body, and then all the impurities in the body, and then eating right, eating healthy, staying away from the processed foods as best as I could, and trying to focus on the good foods. I started incorporating exercise into my diet and lifestyle. And I just did a whole different lifestyle change. And I realized in life that I can't do everything that I want. And is it frustrating? Of course it is. You know, I was the type of person that, wanted to do everything in life. I was always the adventurous type of person. I wanted to jump out of an airplane. I wanted to ride a motorcycle. I wanted to do this and that. And when you have epilepsy, we can't always do everything we want. And we have to be acceptant of that. And we have to understand that it doesn't matter if you have epilepsy or any disorder or any disease. There's limitations with everything. Everything in life comes with limitations. And these are the things that you have to think about when you have epilepsy. And these are ways to deal with epilepsy. And the biggest key of dealing with epilepsy is I focus on the positive and I don't focus on the negative. That was the biggest thing that helped me with my epilepsy. You have to focus on the positive things in life. Be grateful for the things you have in life. I have epilepsy, but I see a lot of people out there with terminal illnesses, people that have gone to the doctor and they've been given a sentence that, oh, you have X amount of time to live. I'm not one of those people. I may not be perfectly healthy, but right now, overall, my health is in good standing. And so in life, we have to look at the good things in life. Look at the positive things. I might not be able to do everything I want, but I have a happy family. I have beautiful children, a husband who loves me and accepts me for my epilepsy, who's been by me through everything, through thick and thin, and children who are very supportive and very loving and very caring, and a family who supports me, and friends who have known me for years and years who always stand by my side. And if I have a seizure, they would always be there to help me and not to judge me. Be grateful for these things in life. When you go outside and you wake up in the morning, be grateful for the air you breathe, for the life that you've been given. We don't know how long we're going to have on this planet. We don't know what the next day may bring. Be happy for what you have and be grateful, and look at the positive things in life. Life comes with many good things. Focus on those good things. My key for living with epilepsy is faith, courage, wisdom, strength, and hope. And if you put those things in your life, you will live a happy, healthy, and productive life with epilepsy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please leave comments in the comment box. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you have questions, please ask them. and I'd love to hear everything. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel that I have, and I look forward to making more videos to talk about epilepsy and to help you, as I've been helping many people for many years.